God bless you. I'm Iris Davis.
Well, welcome back to The Unknowns. I'm about to introduce you to somebody who's not quite unknown, but kind of unknown because, well, let's just get into it. If you don't mind, Iris, just me talking, nobody else is listening. How old are you?
I'm on my way to 81.
81.
On my way.
Now, that is not unusual these days. A lot of people are aging to 81, but you're what, the toughest and fittest 81-year-old in the world? Is that my understanding?
Well, I wish I could claim that. I'm waiting for it. I have 17, maybe 15, but career wins, first place women's bodybuilding. And as far as to my knowledge, I'm the oldest IFBB Pro in the United States. And on the internet, I looked and it said probably the world.
Well, I'm just going to give it to you in the world. I probably won't go universe because that would be a little bit too large, right? But for the world, you are the fittest and most active 81-year-old.
I got into it because I had a lot of tragedy and trauma in my teens. At age 17, I got married. I had my first son at 17. My first son died at 2 months old when I was 18. I had another child, and when he was 2 months old, my husband died. So I was very young when all this happened together. And I was living in Ireland, and now in Ireland it's not known for its social services. There was nowhere I could go to get counsel or be grieved or go to a doctor because you couldn't afford to go to the doctor anyway. So I just, I wanted to die myself. And you can't die. No matter how much you think you want to die, you can't die if it's not your time.
So that's a lot of tragedy at a very young age. What taught you? What gave you that sense of, I'm not going to let this beat me? Was there some person or an event that gave you that strength?
Well, I had a 2-month-old son, and I was living very, very poor, very poor. There was no chances of rising up or making anything of myself. And I looked around at other people in my situation, and I just saw misery everywhere. And I thought, no, this is not for me. I'm going to get out of this any way I can. So I made an application to apply for a job in the United States as a nanny. I thought it would take 2 years. It took 2 weeks. So when my son was 6 months old, I had $10 in my pocket, and I landed in Logan Airport, Boston.
What does it mean to you that you could come to a nation like this? Have you reflected upon that?
Well, to me, my opinion only is the only one that counts. There is nowhere on the planet like the United States. It has given me every opportunity to better myself, to make money, to make myself semi-famous. And that would not happen in any other country. But in the United States, you're allowed to blossom and rise if you want to, and you can.
What lessons would you give the younger generation? There's been a lot of talk about sort of malaise and people not showing up. Like, what would you say to them?
Just blame yourself. Blame yourself for what you don't have. Because nobody's on this earth to give you anything, maybe your parents. But even then, you must have a focus and you must have an aim. Nobody's going to give it to you. Whatever it is, you're going to work, you're going to go to college, or you're going to go by instinct. With me, I'm very happy to say it was mostly instinct. I never took a lesson from a man. Even when my first appearance on stage, I didn't know what to do, but I still got up.
You seem to be a bit competitive. Is that an accurate description?
I'm not competitive at all. But if I get an idea, if somebody asks me, will you do this? I think about it and I go, you know what? If I want to, I can do it. And that's how I did my first bodybuilding show.
Well, what if someone said to you, you can't do this?
Oh, that's even worse. I'm a 15 times champion because there's one particular bodybuilder who challenged me. And she told me I wasn't a bodybuilder. And how come you're a bodybuilder? You're Irish. You live in America. I'm not allowed to compete in America. I'm an American citizen and have been and love it. So I'm allowed to compete. But this particular girl, I thought, I will show you, who's going to be a champion.
And where is she now?
She's back in Britain and hasn't done anything for years and years and years, whereas I never stopped. I never stopped.
If I came to you today and said, I'd never worked out, I'm interested in it, what's your first words to me? What do you tell me? Look me in the eye, and what do you say?
Well, I'd look you in the eye and I would ask you, are you doing it for you? Or are you doing it for your partner? Or for your girlfriend? Or for your kid? Are you doing it because somebody wants you to do it? If you don't want to do it, I do not want to train you. You would drain me dead, and I would not be interested. I just can't. Because, you're telling them something, and they're looking at it, filing their nails, and you're trying to teach them how to pose, how to think, what way to do. And then you look down at them, and they're like, I don't want to train anyone like that, because they give me bad vibes, and I won't take bad vibes from anybody. I can smell your spirit before you'd even come into my room. I can smell it.
We're marching into an election year. Are there any policies that, you're like, if you were queen or king, that you would want to change?
There's a lot that I wouldn't want to say on TV. I really wouldn't, because I have followers of all nominations and all ideas, and I love them all. I'm a bit dogmatic in my own thinking, and I don't let anybody change that.
Well, perhaps with that answer, you should run for office. That was very political and diplomatic of you.
Yeah, you have to be kind to everybody. Just because they're not the same politics as you doesn't mean to say that they're still not your best friends.
So how do we look at the divisiveness in this country, and how do we bring people together? What would be your general advice about that?
Love and music. Music is a great bring together of people. And I don't know why a lot of people on Facebook, they laugh their hearts out at seniors dancing. This is the way my mom danced in the 80s. In the 80s, that was fantastic. Why would you laugh at someone who's still alive? They're still doing what they want to do. It doesn't matter what they look like. They're not spreading hate. They're out spreading love. And if you don't love it, you feel it. People can see it. I tell them how beautiful they are. I buy hats, diamond, sequin hats. I've worn many, many on my show. But when I go shopping, I bring them with me, because you get little girls shopping and they look at you like, oh my God, I love your hat. And I say, really, you like this hat? And then I take it off and I put them on it and I say, it's yours. They're like, I get such a pleasure. It's like a $5 hat. It gives me so much pleasure. And they're just like, oh, I'm a princess for the day. I go, no, you're a princess forever. You're a princess forever. Remember that.
It's been beautiful talking with you. Anything else you'd like to add?
I would just like to add to people, if you think you can do it, try it. And that means anything. Riding a bike, knitting, sewing. Don't regret not trying. Whether it's writing a book or exercising, movement is the key. Movement is the key.
I wish you and yours a wonderful 4th of July, and thank you for your time today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Namaste.